What's up, everybody? Colton Posey here, and I was going to talk to you about how I caught my fish during practice and during the tournament on Smith Lake. So, one of the things that I was trying to do, I knew that I needed a kicker largemouth because spotted bass, you got a lot of good largemouth fishermen. I knew spotted bass wasn't just going to do it. So, here's what I did. For the spotted bass, early in the morning, they're schooling on points. They're real easy to catch. So in the creek that I was fishing, which is Crooked Creek, I had found that those fish were feeding on small minnows. So what I was using to target them fish that was close to the top of the water column is a Strike King Sexy Dog. Now this is the nude series, and I've swapped out the hooks to Gamakatsu size 6 EWGs. I don't know if you guys do that, but man, the hookup ratio is 1,000 times better when you put EWGs on any moving bait. So I've got the size 6 EWG on the front, and this is the same thing but with a feather. What I come to notice is these fish are not actually trying to kill this bait. They're trying to kill that feather hook. That feather hook going through the top of the water column looks just like a minnow. So if you're chasing them fish that are targeting the minnows, try something like this. I'll put the link down in the description for Tackle Warehouse. You guys can go in there and order it. Now, another thing that I did to target those fish kind of later on in the day when they're not exactly on top of the water, they're not at the bottom, they're kind of suspended out there in the middle. They're looking up. They're always looking up, waiting on those minnows to pass over them. So what I would do when it got windy, a jerkbait. Now, this is just a Strike King jerkbait. It's the, I believe it's the 4.5 inch. It's just got the 2 hooks on it. But what I'm doing with this thing is I'm just working it as fast as I possibly can. I mean, just ripping it as hard, as fast as I can without stopping it. These fish would come up from 25 foot all the way up to like 8 foot and smoke this bait. So that's another good one. Now, as I got into the creeks and around docks and stuff like that, targeting largemouth, which don't get me wrong, I would catch some spotted bass like this too. But the largemouth that were hanging out and living under these docks, I knew people have been targeting them with chatterbaits and all kinds of other things. So I decided to swap it up during practice, and it turned out really well. So what I was doing, I was skipping a fluke. Now this is a Zoom fluke. This is the standard size. This is called an electric shad. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's got that purple flake in it, kind of like that ghost color. I would cast it up under these docks, and instead of dancing it like I was talking about the last time, working it really fast, I would actually just barely pop it a couple times and just let that thing fall. Now, how you rig that fluke is going to depend on your success rate. So what I would do, I would take this fluke, I would take my Gamakatsu hook, I would run it all the way and thread it down. Actually, I'm going to show you guys. Hold on. Alright, so what I'm going to do with the fluke, I'm going to simply take the fluke, run it down to the barb. See where the bend is in the barb? I'm actually going to run it up past that to about right here where the fluke looks like that. Now this is a 3/0 Gamakatsu hook. I'm going to run it out the top just like that, run it all the way up and twist it. Now what happens is that top part's going to come over the line. Then I'm going to bring this through and just skin hook it where it's flat like that. Okay, but now what this will do when that fluke hits the water, it will actually rock back and forth while it's sinking. If you rig it further down, it will fall nose down. So how I found out these fish liked it was rigging it where it's further up the line where it will fall just like this. Alright, so the fourth and final thing that I did when these fish would move out deep. So if I'm in a creek or wherever I'm fishing, whether it's on the main lake or what, I caught a lot of fish on the main lake like this. When these fish would move out and suspend deep, I'm talking 40 foot deep. I'm I mean, I'm talking deep. I would take, this is a 4x4 smally little jig head. It's got like a 1/0 hook in it. It's really small. And I was using a 2.75 inch Strike King Rage Swimmer. Now this head is a 1/2 ounce. And the important thing is, when I throw it out there, is being able to count down that lure and know exactly where my lure is. Now if the fish were sitting in 40 feet, I know that they're constantly feeding up, so they're constantly looking up. So what I do is I'll sit there and I'll count that lure down until it gets to about 25 to 30 feet, and then I would just slow reel it. Okay, here is where the Rage Swimmer makes a difference. I love Kitech, there's nothing wrong with Kitech, but these Rage Swimmers, the ribs on the Rage Swimmer is actually pointed forward. I know you probably can't tell, but they're actually pointed forward. What this allows me to do with that 1/2 ounce head is not only get down there faster, but when I'm reeling it, I can reel it really, really slow, a lot slower than I can reel a Kitech because the ribs are pointed forward and they're pushing more water. So guys, that is how I caught my fish on Smith Lake. I appreciate you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll bring you more tips. Thank you.